when you're helping someone put an album together like that, what is your ultimate goal? What are you hoping to accomplish with it?
Well, I mean, the first thing is always to please them,
Sure.
um, you know, and so the pool of people that I tend to work with are from the filk music community, and I don't know if you've gotten into that at all in your show and explained
People have
what that
asked me on
is
other
to your
shows
listeners.
what that is. I will explain.
Okay,
I will
so
explain. Yeah. But, well, I mean, yeah, or you can explain. I'd love to hear your
well,
definition.
no, that's yeah. I don't, honestly, I'm not sure what It's a community of
Hmm.
people at this
Yeah.
point, and it's no particular style of music. But one of the things I think it's fair to say is that when I came in, and I came into the folk music community around the time I started getting into recording, it was really the same year, 1995.
Okay. Yeah.
Most of the recordings at the time, I think it would be fair to say, were pretty rough and
Yeah.
ready.
Live
And
recordings from living
I've all,
rooms and yeah.
yeah, and yeah, exactly. And I always just try to approach it that, this may be, and I do tend to work with the more, sort of the more professional level musicians in the folk community. But whatever style of music, the or what the songs are about or whatever, I always just try to approach it from the point of view of, I'm going to do this, approach this in the same way I would if I was doing a major label
Hmm.
artist. Not that anybody's asking me to do any major label
You never know.
artist recordings, but essentially what I'm always trying to do, and it's an aspirational goal. I'm certainly not saying I'm there, but is to, you know, treat the production and, the recording as seriously as if it was going to be heard by, millions of people, rather than, probably the, hundreds to thousands of people that most of these recordings actually reach.
Sure. Yeah. From here, I kind of want to get a little philosophical with you. I hope you're okay with that. But I
Sure.
wanted to ask you why you think sound and maybe music in particular is important in our lives.
Oh boy,
It's a big
I
question,
don't
I
know
know.
why. I'm not sure I'm qualified to the why. I think it probably, to some extent has to do with
Hmm.
evolution, and, that, sound is, provides a lot of important cues about our environment. It's very clear that sound has a way of transporting us, and I think you and I are both of an age where it's now like, songs that we loved when we were kids will like take us back,
Oh, yeah, totally a memory thing.
to that era.
Yeah.
We baby boomers are all getting, on in years, right? All of the commercials for medicines are using,
Well, technically,
all the
I'm Gen
songs that we
X.
grew up with, right? Oh, okay. All right.
Technically.
Well, I'm totally a boomer. So, but yeah, you know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean.
know. Yeah. The
It's yeah,
commercials
but
alone.
whatever. Yeah, right. Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just a sure sign. But, even like when you think about, like, again, talking about movies, right? If you take the, Foley work and the soundtrack out of a movie and just show, the film with just the dialogue, even a great movie, it completely falls emotionally flat, right?
Hmm.
It's, I've always felt like if George Lucas had not hired John Williams to do the score for Star Wars, it would probably be a little remembered, B B grade science fiction movie that hardly anybody would even, the music kind of glosses over some of the, kind of, you know tropey, pulpy shortcomings,
Yes.
of the script, and,
Sure.
right. I mean, because the
Yeah.
music is just majestic. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, I mean, I've heard George Lucas in interviews, pretty much acknowledge that when, he first saw a cut of the film with the score, it was like, oh wow, we have something here.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's, yeah. So, I mean, sound in movies and, even, a visual medium like movies and so on is really important. So I just think the human brain is just wired to respond to sound.
So
I think
true.
it's a product of, where we came from originally. And, yeah.
Hits us right in the heart.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what are you working on now that you can talk about?
Um, So yeah, Maya and I are working on a couple of things that I don't know what's going to see the light of day, but
It's always worth
I've been
trying.
experimenting. Yeah, no, it really. I mean, that's one of the nice things about having my own studio is I can afford to just experiment. So um, I've actually lately been kind of getting back to my kind of prog rock roots a little bit. So we're working on some music that's kind of a little heavier and a little more, uh, you know, uh, proggish than the stuff we've released before, which is kind of where I came from. And I don't know if we're going to release it or not. Right now, I'm just having fun playing with it. Getting ready. I don't want to say who it is because I know that they're going to do a Kickstarter and so on, but um, some people that I know have approached me and actually another engineer in the Bay Area to kind of split a project with them. So that's going to get rolling this spring, I think.
I'm looking forward to
Um,
hearing more about that one. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure I know which one you're
yeah,
talking about. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, but yeah, I don't
I
want
won't
to, I
say.
don't
I
want
won't
to,
say who. Yes.
yeah.
No.
And I'm in the middle. I'm working with Betsy on mixing a another album of cello
Nice.
music. That I don't know. I think we've got about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 songs done. I mean, she's basically sending me. We both work in the same, use the same DAW software, so she just sends me projects and with her tracks in them and her kind of rough mix, and then I take it from there. So uh, been working on that. I'm not sure when that's going to come out. Neither one of us seems to be in a huge hurry to finish it. It's just sort of
That's always nice.
we're working. Well, we're working steadily on it, so
Yeah.
it'll
Take your
it'll come
time.
when it comes. Yeah, and yeah, that's about it right now. I just finished a really fun project called Bridge, which is actually this was something. There's a uh, performer in the filk community named Kathy Marr, who is a gorgeous voice and great songwriter. And she had the idea to put together an album of songs to kind of try to show how music can kind of cut through some of the polarization in society. So she wanted songs basically about the things that bring us all together. Um, and she actually approached me, gosh, I think it was in 2017 about producing this. And we got started on it. And then this thing happened that you may have heard of, this pandemic thing
Oh
that,
yeah, this little thing that
yeah,
delayed everything by
yeah,
three
that little,
years. Yeah.
yeah. So it kind of stalled us. I wasn't able to, but basically we solicited songs from a ton of, basically submissions from a bunch of songwriters. And then we chose the ones we wanted to use, and then in some cases had the person who wrote the song sing it. In other cases, we brought in other singers. Yeah, so and I produced the music and used a lot of the people I've worked with before to also help provide instrumental tracks. Um, so it was a very long, involved process, but it's got some great performers on it. It's got songs by Tallis Kimberly, Tim Griffin, um, Kat Faber, Christoph and Margaret here in the Bay Area, a bunch of other people. Uh, we're not able to get Tallis to come sing her song, so I brought Heather Dale in.
Oh yeah,
So I
that'll
had the
do.
pleasure of, it will do. Well, it's really kind of funny because, I had been talking before the
Mhm.
pandemic, had chosen this song as a really beautiful song of Talas's called Close the
Mhm.
Gate. And the plan had been for Talis to fly out here and record the vocal for it. Then the pandemic happened. And then when things started to ease up, um, Talis just decided that she still really wasn't up for traveling.
It's a long way for her to
So
come,
I remember,
too.
yeah. So yeah, it's a long way to
Yeah.
come. So Maya and I, actually, the first convention we went to after the pandemic was a convention in Georgia, usually held every January, called Filk. And we went last January, and Heather and Ben were the guests at the
Hmm.
convention. So had a chance to talk with them during we were seated with them at the banquet where this obscure jazz band
Oh,
called Play It With Moxie was performing.
obscure.
Pretty,
Yes. For those
yeah,
of us,
I just
for
can't.
those of you who are not aware, Play It With Moxie is a band that I am in, jazz swing band. There's 9 of us, I think, or something like that
Yeah,
around, and we
and they're
play.
really good.
Thank you. We
They're
play that
great.
banquet every year that this convention happens,
Mm-hmm.
and Mary Crowell is our band leader.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Right.
see her every year. We do this performance every year. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So so it happens at this convention, and there's a banquet, and the band is the entertainment while people eat their food. And so Maya and I ended up at the same table with Ben and Heather, and so we're talking with them. And on the plane home, I just heard from Talis that she couldn't make it back. I was like, who can I get to sing that song? And then it was like in the middle of the plane flight back here to the Bay Area, it's like, oh, idiot, Heather Dale, you just, so I
Yeah.
called Heather, or emailed Heather, pretty much as soon as we got back, and she, thinking, well, she may not be interested in coming here. And she was like immediately, oh yeah, let's do it. And so she flew out here and spent several days, and actually ended up singing 2 songs on the album, and it was lots of fun. So yeah, anyway, again, my train of thought went all over the place
It's
there, but
okay.
it's a really great album, of great collection of songs from a diverse group of people with lots of different singers and performers. And so that's the latest thing that I've been involved with, that's finished anyway.
Wonderful. I look forward to hearing it too. Yeah. And so, if anyone wants to reach out to get in touch with you, how would they be able to do that?
Jeff at mysticfig.com.
I love that. Mystic
My
Fig.
studio is Mystic Fig Studio.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Jeff. This has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks.